have you also thought about, as an IT minister, to include artificial intelligence into your governance?
Absolutely. I mean, there's two aspects of it. From a governance aspect, it is vital. I've said it many times before. I'm not actually, maybe I'll just take a 60-second segue. I'm not that convinced that artificial general intelligence is upon us yet. All these large language models throw out so much nonsense. Back if there are tech people like I used to be, there's an old adage in the database business says garbage in, garbage out. You can only analyze the data you have. And when you try to analyze everything, you're getting a lot of nonsense data into it, and you're starting to see hallucinations, slop. They have terms for it now, made up judgments, things like that. So you leave those out. But in a narrow way, the state is the holder of the greatest amount of data. By definition, it is all valid data. I have a birth certificate, I know your health records, I know your community, your income, your benefit schemes, etc. And so even if you say you're doing everything electronically, even a WhatsApp requires somebody to have a smartphone and a data connection. The great luxury of AI is that we can do this by voice. And assuming everybody can speak, even if they can't read or write, then AI-based services with automated voice recognition processing through the government's own relatively 100% pure databases is, to me, the actual democratizing kind of holy grail, that we can deliver all of these things to all the services, to all the citizens. That is the government's role. But the main agenda for your session here is to change, what is happening to the nature of work and how are we adapting to that. And that, I think, is really the key for a state like Tamil Nadu, because the bulk of our progress over the last century across various governments, across various regimes, has been through a focus on the human element. We have kept the human capital second to none in terms of scale and, let's say, tertiary education enrollment, which is now 50% almost in Tamil Nadu. But that assumes a particular path of life. For example, we graduate almost 2 lakh engineers a year. But if you see for the last 10 years, I would say overwhelming majority of them ended up not doing civil or chemical or mechanical, but doing some kind of software IT job. Those jobs are not going to exist in the future, right? If it's that shallow a tech job that you can basically do it because you have enough engineering, understanding and science and math, that can probably get automated away. So we need to start thinking profoundly about what kinds of jobs will last, what will increase, what will disappear. You've already seen in all of your reports, in the magazine you had an article about the layoffs and the kind of reduced hiring in the base level services. But there will be huge growth in domain experts, in people who will check the ethics of the AI models, who will validate these models, and in areas where we have not yet actually stepped in, like the scale of greening, clean tech, healthcare services, as we have aging populations. Tamil Nadu is actually on the verge of becoming an aging society. So these kinds of places require a lot of human beings. You see, a lot of this is about the socio-political construct. It is not about technology. The best AI models can diagnose much better than most doctors, in fact, probably better than any doctor. But none of us would be comfortable allowing the model to deliver a result to a citizen without somebody taking responsibility for it in a system of licensing of medicine that we have as a society. So I think we need to think a lot. Now, I have something called the ICT Academy in my department, which is one of the best government training entities in IT. It's 15, 17 years old. We have offices in 12 states. We run annual conferences. I was here in this very hall about 2 weeks ago to run one of our annual conferences here. We are working on the kind of lagging edge, because that's this year's graduates, current college students. Where we really need to be thinking about this is starting in elementary school. What are the kinds of things we need to teach our children in an age where what the internet did to knowledge, it democratized it, it made it universally accessible to anybody who had internet connection. AI is going to do to a lot of mundane white-collar jobs. It's going to automate them away. So what is it that we should be teaching our children when the nature of the job market, not today, but in the next 20 years, is going to change dramatically. And our Chief Minister has already got a focus on that. We're working with companies like Google and Microsoft and trying to change the curriculum and the approach to education starting from the elementary school upwards, and that includes the faculty. You have to teach the teachers first to go that way. Sorry, long answer. Yeah.